G'day everyone and welcome to another video on the Eyre Peninsula. In this one we go to Venus Bay, set ourselves up in the caravan park there at Venus Bay and have a look around at Venus Bay. And whilst there we go out and have a look at the Talia Caves and the tub out there, very pretty, well worth going out to have a look at. And then we move on to Elliston and there's some lovely coastal drives out there, and one is the sculpture drive and it's got various sculptures along it. So we've got that and so much more coming up in this episode.
I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. It was going to be an easy drive for us today as we left Streaky Bay, making our way down to Venus Bay, but that gave us the opportunity to call into Port Kenny as we drove past, because that's one town that we've never really had a look at before. We were nearly at Venus Bay when we arrived here at Port Kenny, so we did the right hand turn and went down through the town, making our way towards the jetty. It's only a very short jetty, this one, but it leaves the sand and the beach exposed as the tide makes its way out. It continues to amaze us how clean and clear the water is in this part of the world. As I start to make my way back towards the car and the caravan, I've got to work out how I'm going to get out, because when we came down there were other vehicles parked here, and when we parked where we were we thought, God blimey, if we're not here on our own, and even if we are here on our own, it was going to take a bit of head scratching to work out exactly how we're going to get out. Once we stood back and looked at it and thought, oh, not as bad as what we first thought, it was just a matter of reversing back up, and then we took this exit up the rise and back to the main road, and we're soon heading towards Venus Bay. Venus Bay is one coastal town over this way that we'd never gone into before, and I guess that's purely because you've got to turn off the main road to go in there, but if you've got time on your side, don't hesitate to do it, because we were quite surprised at what the town had to offer. We were lucky that we were able to get into the caravan park with an early check-in, so it's down into the caravan park to set ourselves up.
G'day everyone and welcome to Venus Bay. We've set ourselves up in the Venus Bay Caravan Park here, 2 nights, and we're going to have a bit of a look around Venus Bay. Hope you enjoy.
With favourable weather conditions, we thought we'd take the short drive out to Camel Beach, and from Camel Beach we went on to Talia Cave and then on to have a look at the tub. It was only a short drive and quite easily done in a conventional vehicle. Once we left the main bitumen road, it was only a short drive that took us down to Camel Beach. The roads that we're on today were all in good condition, and if I may make a suggestion here, when you come up to the parking areas we're coming up to now, don't park the vehicle right up against the rocks, because should you accidentally select drive instead of reverse when you go to leave the area, you may go forward and go over the cliff. Not all beaches here have stairways that take you down onto the sand from the top lookout area, and Camel Beach is one of those beaches without stairs. couple of buildings up there on top of the cliff, you think it would have to be very windy at times. A lot of these coastal areas that we've looked at so far have got signs up saying no swimming because of a strong undertow in the current, and perhaps this beach may be one of them. That I'm not sure. You can access the water though, if you want to walk down, and be very careful as you do it, but whether you can swim here, that we're not sure. From Camel Beach, it was only a short drive that was going to take us to Talia Cave. The road that was taking us into Talia Caves, as with Camel Beach, was only a short drive. There is a campground here, should you wish to camp in the area. We found this location here very picturesque, with the sun shining today, and the waves, the white water, the blue water, and the colour of the stones and the cliffs around Talia Caves itself just made it so pretty to look at. As the drone flies into the cave itself, imagine what it would be like on a very high tide and a rough day, and the water must pound right up to the end of the cave, because as it goes in here now, you'll see where the stones are, so they've been forced in with water. It would have to be a magnificent thing to witness. The coastal area along here, where Talia Caves are, is very, very stunning to look at. From the car park, it's only a short walk over to these steps, and it's the steps that will take you down to the cave. We spent a considerable amount of time here just admiring the beauty of the area. I'm not sure whether the camera does it real justice, but the colour here absolutely blew our minds. The waves were pushing in pretty hard today, but they weren't that hard that it spoiled our time down here. And to be honest, you need some waves so you can enjoy the area and view what it has to offer. Have a look and see how clear the water is in this little rock pool here. It's just amazing. From Talia Cave, we continued on, and it was only a very short drive around the corner, and we were soon at the tub. As we make our way along in the vehicle, just the coastal scenery, looking out across the water, is something worth coming to have a look at. From what I understand, the tub has been created from the roof of a cave collapsing, and with the sound of the ocean today, it was very loud and it was a little bit hard to work it out, but I believe standing alongside the top of the tub, you can hear the ocean pushing up into the cave. Under ideal weather conditions and at low tide, I believe with a huge amount of care, you can walk down to the entrance of the cave. Once again, I'm not sure of that. I've only heard this, and you can look up into it, but if you do decide to go down there, I don't know whether it's recommended, and if you do it, be very, very careful. From the tub, we continued along our scenic drive, and it was only another short distance, and we were here coming up into this area here where there was a monument, and that was a memorial to someone that had lost their life here. The road continues on and will take you to the Lake Newlands Conservation Park, and it's sandy in there. You're into all the sand dunes, so should anyone wish to go in there, you need to be an experienced four-wheel drive driver, otherwise sure as heck you're going to get stuck. Been Venus Bay is a small country seaside town and predominantly, I guess, fishing town, and as well as that, it's well known to interstaters as a hotspot tourist destination. The pelicans here lazing on the beach is not very far down from the fish cleaning table, and that fish cleaning table is not very far away from the town jetty. The jetty is very close to the caravan park, and that makes it very convenient for people to come down here to wet a line. At the area leading to the jetty, you've got this kids' playground as well as undercover barbecues. At the top of the road up from the jetty, you've got the general store, as well as that, the big pelican. It's really a small world, you know. You can't get away from anyone, because unbeknownst to us, when we arrived at the caravan park, the manager there was actually a former workmate of mine. While here, we also arranged to meet up with a travelling YouTube family, and we'd been following these YouTubers for many years now, or they've been on the road for 4 years, and it was great to be able to meet up with them and socialise for the day here whilst at Venus Bay. The Venus Bay Caravan Park is set up in a perfect location, and by the water, by the jetty, it's just so close to everything. Very popular little park, this one. It wasn't booked out whilst we were there, but it was certainly on the higher end of the capacity being filled. A lot of interstate tourists and travellers here whilst we were here, and they were enjoying some of the luxuries that South Australia has to offer. Camp Kitchen has everything that the traveller would require. From Venus Bay, it was time to make our move, and that was going to take us down to Elliston, where we would be in a caravan park for the next 3 nights. The weather had really turned foul for us today. It was blowing a gale and moving a lot of sand at the caravan park when we left. A little bit of rain on the way, but that didn't stop us from pulling in here to the roadside bakery. The Colton Bakehouse has a variety of items on sale here, and everything was fresh. It was obviously made that morning, I'm sure, because the shelves were full when we arrived, and the items were to die for. With their purchases of sticky fruit buns and some bread rolls, we paid our money and we were soon on our way. As we continued on to Elliston, the rain wasn't heavy, but it was annoying. Travelling these short distances from one location to the next always gets you there too early, and with the rain band that was coming, we were sitting up on the rise overlooking the water, having a cup of coffee, killing time and waiting for that rain to stop. Once there was a break in the weather, we made our way down to the caravan park and managed to score a nice sight for the next 3 nights.
We finally made it to Elliston, but what a dirty, blowy day it was down at Venus Bay when we were packing up. We almost got sandblasted off the earth. It was very windy and a lot of sand blowing around, but we're here at Elliston and we've set ourselves up in the Waterloo Bay Caravan Park, and we're here for 3 nights.
With the weather having improved the next day, it was off to take the Little Bay Clifftop drive. It was only a short drive, and a very beautiful one at that. As well as the obvious dirt roads that took you around this drive, there was also a small walking track that allowed you to walk from one view to the next. For those that aren't aware of it, when you drive a truck and you're looking out the front windscreen as you're driving down the road, that's called your office view. Now, imagine driving a truck along these roads here and having the office view that these guys must get as they take their vehicle down the road. There are some table and chairs along this drive and allows you to sit down and take in these very wonderful views. Being only such a short drive, before long the drive was over. While the sun was shining, we thought we'd may as well go back into the town and then go on the opposite side of the town that was going to take us to the Anxious Bay Clifftop Drive. This drive was a little bit longer than one that we just completed, but even that, it was only a little bit longer than 12 kilometres in total length. This drive is known for its sculptures that are placed along the drive, and the first one that we come to are these large thongs. There are no signage at each of these sculptures as we go around to tell you what they're there for and what the meanings of them are, but unbeknownst to us when we were there, we've only found out since that there is a information booklet available at the Tourist Information Centre at Elliston, and that will give you some detailed information regarding why they're there, and I would assume who did them. As you go around the drive, all of these sculptures that you come across are not small by any means, and it certainly adds to the attraction of the area. Each statue is so different in its own right, and I'm sure there is a meaning to all of them. And this one here has got these grains of wheat, and I didn't show it, but on the other side there's actually pictures of sheep, so there's a definite meaning behind the statue. With these drives here at Elliston being so short, it does give you the flexibility to take your time and look at the wonderful sights that are on offer. With the well-maintained roads, if you're driving past Elliston and not stopping in the area, it does allow you to bring the caravan along the road so you can enjoy the drive. The Waterloo Bay Tourist Park is your typical country caravan park, although this one does offer lawn sites. Plenty of trees in this park, and of course with trees makes it awkward if you've got satellite TV or Starlink. The workers here at the park were constantly always busy keeping the area clean for the park users. For the 3 nights that we were there, for most of the nights, the caravan park was nearly booked out. We have been to Elliston before, and we've even stayed in the caravan park that we're in on this trip, and for the life of us, we always thought that Elliston, or the town of Elliston, was much bigger than what it was. The jetty here at Elliston is heritage listed, and that is because of the way that the jetty itself was built on steel pylons that were screwed into the ground. The area up above the jetty is well set up with undercover barbecues, toilets, and just a great place to be. As I made my way out towards the end of the jetty, I was quite surprised that there was no squid ink on any of the jetty rafters, and that really surprised me. For our final day here in Elliston, we thought we'd do something different and go inland and have a look at the town of Loch, and then make our way down to Toolagee, across to Sharinga, then to Lochswell, and then back to Elliston. Loch is a small community town situated in the middle of a cereal growing area. As you drive through the centre of Loch, you come across this sculpture called the Wheat Lumber. and that commemorates the pioneers of the grain industry in the Eyre Peninsula region. As we made our way back to Elliston from Sharinga, we did the left-hand turn here, and that was going to take us down to Loch's Well. You can bring a caravan in to have a look at Loch's Well, but you must leave it in the upper car park, because the road going down here is just too steep to tow anything that's heavy down. Once you arrive to the bottom car park, there is a structure here, and that's got a viewing platform, and it offers some very nice views indeed as you look out across the water and the beach. There is a 120 metre wooden structure staircase, and that's got 283 steps, and that will take you down onto the beach at Loch's Well. With only 283 steps to climb, it's time to get myself into gear and get back up to the top.
Well, this is the end of this video, and we hope that you enjoy what we're showing you on the Eyre Peninsula as we go around. And on the next one, we'll get back into some serious off-grid camping. And until that video goes up, you take care and look after yourself.